Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Wizards, streaming live almost daily. Simple exercise we're going to go through today that will prove to you that time is nothing like what you think it is. Starting the 5-minute timer right now. Get comfortable, grab a coffee. See you soon. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Let me turn this off here. How is everyone doing today? My display, my monitor isn't giving me accurate information, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure you can hear it. Yeah, we got levels. Ask the Wizards streaming live for, November the 7th. Finished up a Reiki level 1 and 2 workshop in Red Deer. The first one in a hell of a long time. Went really well. Great students, as always. Scheduled a level 1 workshop here in Red Deer, Alberta for November 20th. If you go to the website at healingcenter.ca, you can click on the link and see all the details on that one as well. Time. Such a interesting concept. Incredibly misunderstood. And I was just thinking during the 5 minutes about the clock timer in your computer, any computer, any chip, really, your phone, the computer, all this stuff I've got in front of me, whatever you're listening, watching this on, they have timers, clock chips, timers, and it depends on like nanoseconds. So a person could go, well, that's consistent. That's incredibly consistent because it has to be. It's got to be tick, 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 right? But when you think about it, it's not. Because each tick is, clock, tick, tick. Each tick is its own thing. And then there's another one. And then there's another one. And you don't know. I mean, you assume that those ticks will just keep on going. But where do we experience the passing of time? And that's the interesting thing about this. Is where do we experience the passing of time? What does that feel like? We create it. Like it's not out here because each moment is its own moment. Each tick or click in that clock, each moment that you experience in and of itself is its own unique thing. And then you experience another one. And then you experience another one. And then you experience another one. And what happens is we take these moments, and in your mind, you create the experience of time passing, but it doesn't happen out here. This is really trippy. I teach this in manifesting workshops and usually the master's workshops as well. The way that your mind creates your experience, and that's like high school science now, right? Your mind creates your experience and projects it back out here. It takes it in chunks or pulses. I remember Deepak Chopra, I'm going to have the probably the anatomy a little bit screwed up on this, but he talked about how your nervous system works in pulses. And it pulses and checks. And if it doesn't register changes in any of this information, it won't even check anymore. And he said the example, he says, if I took my hand and put it on your shoulder, you would register that you could feel it. There's, the hand is on the shoulder. But then if we just were talking about whatever else and doing this and doing that, he says, after a while, you could even forget that my hand was on your shoulder until I moved it. And then you would recognize that I'd moved my hand because your nervous system is checking. Well, nothing's changed there, so we're just going to put that to the side. When something has changed, now it updates your mind and says something has changed. Well, we can expand that out to your entire experience. It's really trippy, and it's not just theory. You take this chunk of information in, and you project it back out. Then you take another chunk of information in and you project it back out. And you do this over and over and over again. And what happens is, because these flashes, like this flash, happen so quickly, your mind takes that information and creates motion out of it. It creates motion. You want to know how it does that? It looks for changes. Now, this is a bit of an exaggeration here, but just for illustrative purposes. So your mind it's like it takes a snapshot, right? Snapshot, whoop, takes it in. Snapshot, whoop, takes it in. And then what it does is it looks at the two snapshots. And whatever changes are in these two snapshots, it creates the experience of motion. If it doesn't see a change in one aspect of this snapshot, it doesn't even update the picture. Have you ever had this happen? You're looking for something, or you weren't aware of something. It just didn't exist until you saw it, and now you know exactly where it is. Why did that happen? Why all of a sudden why was it not there? And all of a sudden it was there. Because for whatever reason, your mind wasn't updating that information. For whatever reason, there's all sorts of reasons for that. For our purposes here, your mind wasn't updating that information until your awareness was brought to it, and then it updated it. One of the ways the infamous they, approved this, it was a physician or a researcher of some type. And she was experimenting, I guess, with this process, using people at a specific brain injury to the portion of our brain, her brain, their brain, our brain, that created and detected motion. And what would happen is, every once in a while, this portion of the brain would just quit working. And it would almost be like a matrix moment where things just kind of go shift, right? In that she would be experiencing, in this case it was a lady, she would experience motion. Then all of a sudden, it's like she jumped ahead of 6 frames, like on a film strip or on YouTube, right? You're playing, and then all of a sudden you hit fast forward, you jump ahead like 10 seconds and then catch up. Like everything's moved, hasn't it? That's exactly what she had. So all of a sudden, this would happen and everything would shift. So it's a really neat validation that this is exactly true, that our mind creates motion. And a byproduct of that is it creates time. Have you ever had this happen? You're just kind of chilling, right? You're just chilling, looking out the window, having a coffee or whatever. And you kind of go, geez, I wonder how long I've been here, right? Or something happens, right? Somebody calls or something like that. And you happen to look at your phone and go, holy smokes, I've been here for an hour. And it felt like 10 minutes. We've all had this experience, right? We've all had these experiences when we've been in an experience. There we go. That's something that took only 10 minutes if we want to use linear time, which doesn't exist. And it felt like it took an hour. Or other things where it feels like an hour and it's only 10 minutes, right? Now, we've all had those experiences. You see, so first of all, time is not linear. Time is a creation that our mind creates because each moment is its own moment. There's no time there. We create the experience of time. And then there's that aspect of how flexible our experience of time is. Just as I've said, there's some things that you've been there 10 minutes and you go, holy God, it feels like I've been here an hour, usually when you're waiting in line for something. The other one is, oh man, I'm enjoying this so much. It's like, holy smokes, that much time has passed already? But you see, just even with those examples, and I'm going to give you one more. What I want you to do is think back to the last meal you had, whenever it was. Maybe it was hours, maybe it was 10 minutes ago. All right. Now what I want you to do is think back to an event, a birthday, a holiday, anything like that happened 5, 6, 7, long time ago, 10 years ago, whatever, right? Okay. You can probably come up with that too. Now, here's what you didn't do. You didn't go, oh, what did I have for my last meal? Yeah, it was hamburger, right? Whoa, something that happened 10 years ago? Okay, give me a minute. This is going to take a while. You got 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're flipping through like files, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Hey, okay, 9. Okay, 10. What month? Okay, months. What day, right? You didn't do that, did you? You went last meal, which was maybe 10 minutes ago, 10 years ago, and it happened just like that. You see, we don't experience time linearly in any way. Now, why does this make all the difference in the world? Because one big reason why we don't take those steps towards manifesting a desire is because we think it'll take too long. Or looking at it from the reverse, there's not enough time to do it. There's not enough time to get there. I've lost track for myself, as well, and how many other people have had a desire and they haven't even started to take steps towards it because they're so sure it will take so long to do it. Here's what I know for sure. You don't know how long it will take. Your mind might decide it's going to take X amount of days, weeks, months, years. But your mind can't be trusted. Your mind creates time out of whatever. And your mind isn't that good at creating chronological linear time, is it? So maybe it's not the best one to listen to. Because just maybe your desires can manifest a whole hell of a lot quicker than your mind is telling you. The one thing I do know, it's cliche, but it's true. They'll never manifest if you don't take the first step. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter if you're even really sure if it's in the right direction. Just get moving. I will close with this. My father had horses on the farm. I was never very good at riding horses. And I would get on the horse and the horse decided it wasn't going to go anywhere. And I remember Dad saying, like, turn it. Right? If you can get the horse to turn, you'll get him moving. And once you get the horse moving, now you can start to guide it. But you got to get the horse moving first. Well, you know what? You're the horse. And Source would say, just get moving. I don't care. I don't care whether you're even going in the right direction. Just get moving. Because if you get moving, I can start to guide you. I can start to lead you. And I know ways to manifest your desire. I know shortcuts and loopholes that it can show up a lot quicker than you think it can. But I need you to get moving first, or it's never gonna show up. And I need to be able to steer you. Right? Hey Phil, how you doing, buddy? I need to be able to steer you, but you got to get moving first, so I can steer you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Time, such a strange thing. Share. We're all in this together. See you on the web.